My name is Doreen McLean, and I am the president of the Greenwood Heritage Society, which is commonly known as the Museum, Archives and Visitor Center in Greenwood, BC. Right now we're sitting in the Greenwood City office, but it was the Supreme Court of British Columbia, built in 1903, and it was the Supreme Court for the County of Yale in the Boundary District and beyond. Why should people come to Greenwood? Well, Greenwood is the smallest city in Canada, and it has a very significant history in the mining and smelting industry, and also it was an internment center during World War II for the Japanese Canadians who were forced off the west coast of British Columbia. There's so much history here. It starts back in the early 1880s when the first discovery of gold and copper here, and then follows through with the smelting industry. There's just a great amount of history that's still standing here. This courthouse is evident of one of them. We have many beautiful heritage homes and buildings, houses, a couple of old hotels. Buildings go back to 1896. There's the Greenwood Trading Company, which is on the main street of Greenwood called Copper Street. So we'll go back to 1891 when a character by the name of John Marion Jarrett came into the Boundary Country, specifically into Greenwood here. He ran with Jesse James and the Youngers in the earlier days. He fought in the Civil War for the South in the United States. They pulled off several heist train robberies and bank robberies with Jesse James and the Youngers, and he eventually found his way up into this mining camp. He had mining claims in the north part of this town, out in an area called Kimberley Camp. None of those claims came to any major mine. However, he did spend some time here. He spent some time in the Rock Creek area, and he passed away here at the Sisters Hospital in Greenwood in 1906 and is buried in the Greenwood Cemetery. In 1896, he was drinking in the Pioneer Hotel, which is where the present post office is located, and he had had quite a bit to drink. And a fellow walked in and put some gold coins on the bar counter and turned to John Jarrett and asked him if he could use his pipe. John Jarrett said, "Yeah, fine, you go right ahead." So he smoked his pipe, and then the fellow left, and they found out later that the gold coins had been stolen from somebody else, and there was a court case that was held. It wouldn't have been in this particular courtroom because it wasn't built then, but John Jarrett happened to be a witness. Talking about the famous, there is another family here called the Beatty family, and Mr. Beatty was the bank manager of the Bank of Commerce here in Greenwood, and he had a baby boy that was born here by the name of John Robert Beatty, who became the Deputy Governor General of Canada and signed the Canadian banknotes back in the 1950s. So we have some very interesting people that were once living in this smallest city of Canada. I'm sitting in the judge's chair for the courtroom of the Supreme Court of British Columbia. There's big shoes to fill here, I tell you. But it is a very impressive courtroom. I'm looking at the stained glass windows from 1903, the 7 provinces of Canada, and also up on the ceiling are the stained glass windows. They were made by a Mr. Bloomfield from New Westminster, who also made stained glass windows for the Rogers Estate, the sugar people in Vancouver, and he also did a stained glass window for the BC legislature. When you come to Greenwood, make sure and stop in at the Greenwood Museum. That should be your first stop. We've got lots of stories to tell. You'll be interested, and we'll also give you tours of the courthouse here and also the city of Greenwood, a nice walking tour. So make sure and come and visit us. We'd love to see you.